this is Lessons Learnt, and we're going to do some long arming today. So if you would like to come along with me, just jump on. You're going to be kind of like a fly on the wall. However, I am going to teach how to crop the bottom of your design when you're finished, when you're close to the end of your quilt. So for now, I'm going to put my backing on to the poles, and I have my batting here, and I have my top, my quilt top, which I made just the other day. You all have seen this. This is from Mark's pattern that he did. So I'm going to long arm this today, and we're going to talk about that crop feature when I get down to the end of this quilt. So for now, I'm just going to let you sit up there and watch what I do. I'll speed some of it up, I'll cut some of it out, and so on and so forth, and hopefully it will be a somewhat interesting video for you. All right, let's go. Got the front of the backing pinned on. Let's go to the back side. Got the backing all pinned on, front and back. Now let's get this rolled up nice and neat. So I got my backing all on here, and I pulled my leader as far forward as possible because I have this smaller frame space, and if I can get more of a full row of design on my quilt as possible, then I don't have to crop off as much on that beginning. So yeah, I got it just beyond the hem of the leader. That's my maximum frame space that I can go this way, and then this is as far as I can go this way. So that gives me a good 10 inches or so. I don't know if you could see, but it's about right here where I can get a good full start on my design. So I locked that ratchet back there, but I am going to loosen this one. This is probably about how tight I would have it, but I'm going to loosen it right now because I'm going to put my top on and my batting in between, so I need a little bit of room to do that. First thing I've got to do is find the middle of the bottom of my top, and that's where I'm going to start pinning. And I can tell that, of course, you can fold it in half and make a little crease, whatever you need to do, but I can see on my design up here where the center is. So I'm just going to get that positioned right there, and then go ahead and start pinning again. Just gonna pin the bottom only, of course. Okay, got my bottom of my top pinned on. Gonna roll it up. I'm just going down about an inch or so, a little bit more, about 2 inches. Now I can work with my batting. Put that in there. And that needs to peek out above my top and out to each side. I'm enjoying my hammock down here. That way I can keep things straight and neat and off the floor. So that's about where it's going to land. But I need to get this underneath of this. There we go. Now I can just lay my top right back about where I had it. I may roll it up just a little bit more. Take a look at what my throat space looks like here in relation to my top. So I have about 1.5 inches here. And I think that'll work out just fine. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up again. I gave myself a little bit more. Tighten up the back, but not too tight. You're supposed to be able to get a pinch your knuckle under there. Alrighty. Put our side clamps on. Only on your backing and not too tight. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to baste, pick out a design, get sewing, get stitching this out. I've set my main frame space that I have to maintain throughout the entire quilt out, stitch out of the quilt. So now I'm setting my 2-corner area like we normally do, right? And so I set my point up here, and then I've moved down to the lower right hand side of my machine. So here are my crosshairs, And so I'm about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch outside of my quilt top, and I'm going to set my height. So let's see. I'm going to set 2 corner. Okay, so there's my width, and then now I'm going to set my height, which is saying that from here to here I have 9.23. So I know that my quilt is 60 inches long, so I'm going to purposely set it way bigger than it needs to be. I'm going to set it to 75, and the reason why is I want to show you how to crop off extra design at the bottom. So that's the whole purpose of me doing that. Normally I would pick something like 65 maybe. So I've got an extra 10 inches or so that I'm going to have to crop off later. So I'll just hit enter there. And then if I go to this one here, you see that it's way longer than what I need. Well, you probably can't really tell, but it is. It's probably about more like this. So there we go. Here's my crosshairs. This is my machine right here, my needle. So now I need to go ahead and pick a design. Picking a design always takes me forever. So this may be on time lapse for a little bit, unless I'm talking. Alright, here's what I've chosen. It is Lakes Flora. And let's see. There we go. I've already cropped the outside edges. So now I just need to baste my quilt down and start stitching. Alright, so here's what it's looking like. I used a medium gray thread. It's showing up quite a bit on that lighter fabric. Looks great on the darker one. I think it's going to be fine. Okay, let's just keep on stitching till we get to the end, and then we'll do that crop feature. Just below the halfway mark, making progress. Okay, I just finished my second to the last row, and I want you to notice something. I still have to get this much. See these little round things and this little curly? I still have to get everything right above that frame space area there. I need to get down here on my quilt. So I'm down at the bottom of my quilt, but I need those designs to fill in here. So before we cut off the extra that I have down here, I'm going to go ahead and do my normal drag and drop and get set up again. So once I get that set up, then I'll show you how to crop that off. Okay, so you can see that I have an entire full row inside my frame space. And now we're going to clear off the 2-corner area, because once you start stitching out, you don't even need that anymore. I think I mentioned that in a prior video. So let's go to cancel and then area, and then our clear right here, and see, that gets rid of it. So now we need to establish another 2-corner area. The 2-corner area that we want to establish is everything outside of our quilt, from the bottom of the quilt down. So we want to get to the outside there. See where my crosshairs are? I'm moving them. So you want to get outside, a little bit outside of that, and go down to even with the bottom of your quilt. Sorry about that light. Get that even with the bottom of your quilt. And then hit 2-corner, which was here. And then we're going to go all the way down below this right here, which we can't even get to the end of it because of our throat space is not enough. So I have so much there that I can't even get rid of all of it, but I can get rid of what I need off of it. So let's just go ahead and hit 2-corner again. And that's the amount that we need to take off. So now what we have to do is modify, and your crop comes up, and you want to do edges and inside. Okay, so it's gone. So there's the part that I need right there. Yeah, I don't know why that looked weird to me, but it just did. But you can see right here that the bottoms of those tips are going to get cut off, just like they are right there. So what's going to sew is going to be from this start point right here. It's going to go over and grab these, and over and grab these. And you can see how those little tips are below my quilt. So now I need to get stitching again. So I'm going to go to my ProStitcher and quilt and run, and let's see how this does. Let me go ahead and hang on. I had already basted my quilt down on that second to the last row because I could see all of this and get to it. So I did a little bit up through here and then across and up the other side. So I'd already had it basted down. Depending on what your design is like, you may be basting now. So, you know, it's going to vary a little bit. So let's see what happens now. Okay, it's asking me, let me put the phone on the stand, hold on. So in this particular instance, I thought this would be my start point, so I jumped down to that start point, but it only wanted to tie off. It didn't want to let me continue to run, you know, to stitch. So I had to jump over to this green dot. So it tied off again here, and then as you saw it stitching, it went and did what it was supposed to do. So I'm not sure why that is. There's peculiarities with every design, I think. I don't know if it was because this was still down here. I really don't know. But in a nutshell, that's how you cut off the bottom of your design that you don't need, so that you can get a clean edge on your design here. Is just to make that pink box just like you did in the beginning before you selected your design. Instead of doing crop outside, you crop inside, and then that resets that row to only stitch in the area above that pink box. Still have to have your frame space on. You never get rid of that throughout the whole stitch out. So I hope this helped you. I hope you enjoyed stitching along with me today. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment on this video or send me an email at lessonslearnt2021@gmail.com. So as usual, as I always say, and as I have written in the description box, always consult with a handy quilter educator who is trained in this software if you have any doubts about anything that I'm telling you here. All right, have a great one, and I will see you back here on Friday for Finish It Friday. Bye.